Hello and welcome. I am, for some reason, called to these dark decks, and when I see this color, it always reminds me of Third Eye, which is all about clairvoyance. I feel like somebody is getting an upgrade. If you have not already had some form of clairvoyance, you will be receiving clairvoyant activity, and if you have already experienced it, it is going to be moving to a new level. So whatever that is for you. It feels like there is an upgrade in that chakra, and it also feels like it is working in balance with your sacral chakra. So the creative energy, which is really wonderful because when we can envision, we can create. So that is going to be working together is what I am hearing. So that's really beautiful. Clairvoyance is wonderful, to have an imagination, to be able to think out of the box, to be able to see limitless possibilities, to be able to envision where you are, where you want to be. Okay, so let's see the coven. Possible soul tribe. This could be coming in conjunction with coming into contact or reuniting with someone within your soul tribe. And when I say reuniting, it could be from a past life or anything like that. Somebody that you feel at home with. And it feels like there's kind of a mutual benefit there somehow. Smelling mint. I'm smelling mint. That is really odd. Mint. Oh, there's quite a lot here. Okay. Mermaids. There's been a lot of water codes that have been stepping forward, and white birds. I was going to mention about the bird here, that I felt like there was something to do with the bird, and then with this card coming out now with the white birds, there is something as well about some kind of bird energy for you. Shapeshifter. I feel like shapeshifter energy when I'm seeing this mermaid card, because during a full moon, I think it is, the legend goes that mermaids can come onto Earth and gain their legs. And something about trickster energy going with that. Don't be fooled. Something about trickster. We'll see. We'll have to just look into that a little bit more. But that's what I'm getting. Mystic sisters. Yeah. There's two there. Two here. No, there's three here. Two here. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Bridget. Bridget is passionate. She's about creation. Can't help but notice in here, looks like a sadness, and they got their backs to one another too. I said about it felt like a reuniting here of something from maybe a past life. So you're maybe going to be working on a past life. Feels like a past life lesson or something like that. Coming to terms with something. Interesting. Gratitude. Gratitude has been coming up lately. Ensuring that you're grateful for all that you have instead of that expectation of more. I'm feeling really humdrum in this reading. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like there is a lack of passion. It feels like a lack of passion here. And Bridget is all about passion. It just feels like a lack of passion. But there's some kind of trickery I felt in this. And then the Mystic Sisters came out, and they look like they got their backs to one another. and they look kind of sad looking down. What is that Mystic Sisters about? Let's just see if there's anything in here that might, I don't know, betrayal or something like that. It almost feels like that is being healed in some way. You have to be willing to look at it. Psychic connections, shared visions. Okay, you guys, I said about clairvoyance and about you connecting with somebody else that is going to be able to help you do that, to improve that, to increase that. And the Mystic Sisters remind you to trust and value your closest friends. Seek their advice and offer yours to them. If you are not able to physically visit them, try contacting them by psychic means. There are those special few we meet in our lives with whom mysterious bonds form so deeply it feels like we've known each other's souls before in previous incarnations. That's exactly what I was saying when I said about when this coven came out and I felt that. But there's also a tricky energy here. And there's 3 here, and 2 here. So there could be a third party that feels kind of left out of this, which is interesting because here's Bridget. So there's 3, and then there's 2 alone and this 1. And again, 2 hands and 1. And it feels like some form of trickery. So there could be somebody that feels like they're left out in some way. And they're jealous or angry or something like that. Like, this reminds me of wand energy. And like if you look like fire, passion of fire, when it turns to anger is not very good. And that's what I'm feeling. So let's see what else we have to come up. This is interesting. I don't typically get readings that have kind of warnings within them. It's not something I typically do. I'm not a fear monger. I don't believe in that. But I think having a heads up that somebody that you did have as a trio, there might be one that feels very disconnected or a little jealous of the bond somehow. Okay, because 3, 3, and then there's 2 and 1, and then there's 2 and 1. So let's see what we can get from this. As soon as I cut it, I saw this, but it looked to me like somebody running away. So let's see. Yeah, there's like a split in. I don't know. I just heard calling the feminine back in or something. I don't know if that'll mean something to someone. Just bringing in whatever it is that they're saying to me. Sometimes it feels like it's no bearing, but it might be for just one person. So I appreciate that we have an understanding that sometimes not every message within a collective reading will resonate with every person, but at times there is messages just for one person. And as I heard someone else say, if it is just for one person, thank you for holding space for them. Okay, listening for truth. Yeah. There's something here, some kind of trickery. It's going to be something that comes up, maybe gossip, a story that comes forward or something that, this person here, I don't know, might bring in. Third party, could be third party. Let's bring in one more here. I feel like this listening for truth with this shell here, I feel like listening to your instinct, consciousness, listening to consciousness. Okay, what does consciousness say? What else do you have to say, Spirit? Releasing allegiances. A 10. Endings and beginnings. Something about the bee spirit as well. Releasing allegiances. So there is something that's going to happen within a group. Okay, feels like it could be 3, maybe a third party, something like that. But it's about releasing that bond, right? Or whatever it is that has been kind of holding you together, a sense that you have. It feels like a sense of responsibility or duty that you have. Oh yeah, look at here. Focus on the light. Yeah, just like listening for truth here, like listen to consciousness. Okay? It feels like you have to really listen to consciousness here, not listen to the human ears. There's some kind of trickery going on. And you need to trust the energy, trust consciousness. Okay? Especially with this focus on the light. And then we've got legacy of light. This legacy of light, we're talking about healing old patterns here that is passed down from generations here. And what did I say? Calling the feminine back in or something like that. And in order to have balance, we have to have masculine and feminine before we can bring that child in. And that's what it feels like this is here, the legacy of light. So there is something that has been happening that you may have noticed a pattern that happens. Maybe you're the one that's outcast all the time. And you feel that you're being something that you're not in order to be included. The scenario can go many different ways. You can fit it to your own situation, whatever works for you, because this is a collective reading. But it feels like what you need to do is let go of duty felt allegiances, okay? And allow yourself to just listen to consciousness, focusing on the light. Focusing on the light. What's on the bottom here? Inspiration. Look at all the light that's wanting to come in here. These ones are darker. All right, Spirit, what do we have for tarot? This Sacred Rebels is such a beautiful deck. These are all beautiful decks. Like, I mean, look at the artwork. They're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. This here, I'm going to say, feels like you've maybe called somebody back in, or somebody's come back into your life that is somebody that was, it's a soul bond, but you have not had a relationship with this person for as long maybe as this person. This person is kind of put out by this relationship here. They might try to stir up some kind of trickery within it because they feel left out. Okay. Now it can be, an innocent, maybe a wounding that they're healing as well. And there will be choices made, right? Are you going to put up with it, or are you going to say, enough's enough and I'm not going to deal with that crap anymore? We always have choice. Okay, Spirit, give me a little bit of advice on this. I don't usually get readings like this. It's unusual for me. Okay. King of Earth. This King of Earth is a really authority figure when I see this King of Earth for me. He looks very staunch. Four of Air. Yeah. Again, when I look at her, she looks like she's looking on, like she looks sorrowful. Kind of like that energy back there, but that energy seems more aggressive. This one seems more like, sad. Oh my goodness, Messenger of Fire right with Bridget here. Yeah. There may be some kind of communication that comes in that is not very pleasant surrounding this friendship somehow. These connections. I feel like somebody's feeling left out. Three of Air. This card, when I see this, quite often it talks to me about not being able to speak. See? Holding the throat. It's like a throat energy that is stifled here. Speaking up for the self in some way. But it just, Three of Air as well is a card of betrayal. Oh, this camera is driving me crazy. Back up. Okay. Three of Water. Three of Water is a card typically about celebration with three friends, which is what this card kind of looks like here, the Coven. But this one here, she looks very sad. But she does have pearls of wisdom. So she has learned something, or is about to. Here's the Love card. Lovers, whatever you want to call it. Again, a bond, a connection. Three of Fire. New adventures. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be some communication here that's going to create a separation here in a new direction. And here's Two of Earth. Balance. Yeah, my throat even feels tense as I'm doing this reading. It feels like it's constricted, like it's constricting. So it feels like there's something that you've been holding on to that is going to need to be released somehow. Okay. Two of Air. Ritual. I see the Two of Air as a card of ritual in this deck. If you don't see it that way, take it however it fits you. Okay? Two of Air, there is the Page of Fire. But the Messenger of Fire, the Page of Fire, and Bridget. Yeah. There's definitely some passion here that's going to enter into the equation. All right? And here's the Strength card. And it's interesting how this card and this card keep coming out together in my readings. This is about, the Strength card is always about taming the ego, okay? It's about feeling safe, that your ego feels safe. Do I feel safe within this relationship? How am I feeling? How am I sensing truth, right? Listening for truth, right there. So this is going to be something for you to figure out. What is healthy energy for you to be in, right? Is it this or is it this, right? To figure out what it is. Are you the outsider, or is there somebody on the outside that is angry, right? Moving into a state of where you feel safe, where you don't really need anybody else, because somebody that feels on the outside is somebody that has a sense of unworthiness about them. It really has nothing to do with you and has everything to do with that person. Okay? The blame is put on others all the time. But it is really an internal thing because of not feeling safe. And that's what this Strength card talks about. It talks about the ego feeling safe. Okay? Safe enough to be led by the soul. Okay? To know that not everything is about us. Okay. Let's pull from the cosmic wisdom here. See what words of wisdom they have for us. Oh my goodness, okay. I can handle that. There's just a couple. Sometimes they throw out too many. All right. Asteroids. None of us are just good or bad or never wrong and always right. Well, that's interesting in talking about this because this can go either way is what I feel. No one exists without polarities that are working with them, against them, and within them. I couldn't have asked for any better of a card to come out to explain what I was talking about. And the heart chakra. Open your heart like a blooming flower, inviting compassion and forgiveness to flow freely within and around you. And this is forgiveness for self as well, okay? Because we are all things. I am you and you are me. So when I forgive me, I forgive you. When I forgive you, I forgive me. And a lot of times when we think about forgiveness, we think that the other person has to apologize to us or forgive us. No, they don't. Because forgiveness is within us. We are all things already. We are them and they are us. So when we forgive, they forgive. Without even knowing that they are forgiven, they forgive. So simply work upon your own forgiveness, your own sitting with gratitude with yourself. in working on yourself, you are changing the world one step at a time, which is your own step towards self-sovereignty, self-love, and self-acceptance. That is how we will change the world, is by changing ourselves. We cannot change others. We can only change ourselves. And when we change ourselves, that energy shifts, and it shifts the frequency. And any shift in frequency does make a difference. So always be aware of that. Be aware that you are making a difference, even though you might feel that you are not, that you are tiny. You are. I mean, we are nothing and everything all at once, which is what that phrase is about. As I, we are really nothing in the grand scheme of things. We are just one little person, but we are all things. So we are everything. Okay, our experience here is really nothing, but it is everything because of it being connected. It's a paradox. So just consider taking care of yourself, walking your own journey through gratitude, through forgiveness, through self-acceptance, through love. And that will change the world. Okay, beautiful souls. I thank you so much for joining me here. I thank you for supporting my channel. And until next time, please remember to always let love be your guide.